Alright folks, welcome to episode 48 of the wee podcast. Phil here with Clarky.
Hello.
Today we're just going to carry on from last week's episode with the whole Halloween theme and talk about a few ghost stories and share our opinions on them as well. So hopefully you enjoy.
Spooky.
Well, do you believe in ghosts?
I don't think so, no. Because, I don't know, I think everything's explainable.
I would agree, yeah. I don't really see why you should.
A lot of people like to believe that there's an afterlife, don't they? So, they like
There's an afterlife, so I have to be haunted by ghosts.
Well, there's a chance, maybe, that... Because obviously then there's people that believe in, like, demons and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And if you believe in demons, do you have to believe in ghosts?
Probably.
Do you know what I mean?
I suppose it comes hand in hand, doesn't it really?
Ghosts, spirits, and all that. You know,
Yeah.
if you believe in one, do they all come in? I don't know. I mean...
I think Lauren might believe in ghosts.
Right.
Because every time we watch something that is a bit scary,
Yeah.
she can't walk up the stairs. She has to run up the stairs.
Oh, was that like that? I remember you saying that before.
Yeah. But see, whenever she's like obviously sleeping by herself,
Yeah.
she can't walk up the stairs either.
Doesn't like it?
She has to have the light on her phone.
Well, I think that's just safe. Is it not?
What is it? Because it's
Just to
dark.
not walk in the dark, yeah. Or is it is because she is scared in case there's someone there
Yeah, I think it's because she's scared.
or something
Yeah.
there.
One night I'm just gonna enter her house and just be like,
Just wait at the top of the stairs. Oh my word! Can you actually imagine the squeals if you were to not tell her you were in the house and she was to walk up the stairs? And you'd be like, "Hello." As she hit the top of the stairs.
nah, she never talked to me again. Like.
I don't. That's because she might die.
Yeah.
I really know.
I honestly believe like what I would want to do sometimes whenever she's leaving for work at like 7 in the morning, I'll be like down at the bottom of the stairs with my hood up,
Purge mask on.
on.
Oh my word.
She'd be like, "Ah!" You know, she's like gonna be scared during the day. Never mind it. You know, like that sort of time
that'll
in the
be
morning where it's
amazing.
quite dark. You can't really see much.
You just go, "Welcome to the first purge,"
Mm.
in a voice that's not yours.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Scary biscuits, like.
It would be scary, wouldn't it?
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe she believes in stuff like that. I don't know.
I don't think Rachel does, but she feels uncomfortable
Mm.
around that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's probably what Lauren feels as well. Like, I can't imagine she believes in stuff like that, but she does feel very uncomfortable all the time.
Which, although I sort of get, like, although the only thing is if it's like a film that has an ending where they've sort of beaten it, then I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's sort of left open, I'm sort of like, ooh, still a wee bit.
Like the Conjuring sort of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know what you mean.
Do
But
you know
then,
what I mean?
it doesn't really make much sense though, because they're not real in my opinion.
Yeah,
though.
no, like that's
they do
what I
say
mean.
based on true events.
It's just it's good filmmaking or good storytelling that I'm
Yeah.
sort of like, ooh. Whereas
Oh,
don't like it.
Oh.
Or like
am
like
I right?
like I don't walk up the stairs after a film being like there's a ghost here because I know there's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's in the middle of the like that bus in the Purge
Oh yeah.
series. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never really been. The only film I've really ever been uncomfortable in is Hostel.
Mm.
Whenever they start like taking people apart
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
yeah,
When
'cause
they
that happens.
Cuts the
Yeah, the
Achilles and
Achilles
stuff.
heel. Yeah, 'cause that happens. People do trophy hunt people,
That's grim, like, isn't it?
like the dark web and stuff. I'm pretty sure that happens in real life.
Probably,
But it's not
just
obviously-
as bad.
it's
That.
not
You
ghouls
never
and
do that
ghosts.
lion around at the minute.
Hmm?
The lion. It's really sad.
What lion?
Ricky Gervais tweeted it earlier because he does that as in like raise awareness. It's been sedated quite heavily,
Huh?
and then it's put in like a small enclosure, and then people shoot it for trophy hunting.
But that's not hunting.
No, it's not, but it's horrible.
I don't believe in trophy hunting anyway.
It's disgusting. You don't need it. Just
No.
fucking leave him alone. Excuse my language. Just leave him alone.
If you wanted a trophy, well, not a trophy, but if you wanted like a lion's head, just go and make one.
Yeah, it's just it's so disgusting.
You know,
Really.
just go and make one and be like,
Like, aren't you a big man? Aren't you? Like shooting a gun into a cage and an animal's on drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
aren't you just flipping? You're just the biggest man ever.
Yeah.
You know, it's so stupid.
No, I don't like it myself. Like, you do see an awful lot of it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of it at all, but I mean, if you do want things like that, then just go and get it made by someone.
Well, I hope the lion haunts him. Of course.
If ghosts exist, the lion, to be fair though, if it did, then what's it going to do? Roar at him?
Yes, and keep him awake all night.
Oh, that's a good idea. Then
Yeah.
he'd clinically go insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll teach you. Shouldn't be at that.
I don't think that's ever going to happen, like, but
Well,
I mean, if you believe in ghosts, then fair enough. Like,
could happen.
we have a couple of ghost, in quotation marks,
Stories.
yeah, a couple of ghost stories here that
Hauntings.
I don't know. I mean, I never really believed them. Like, even though the films and stuff, like, we've got ones here with the Amityville Hauntings, and then obviously that one about Emily. Was it the haunting of, or no, the Exorcism of Emily
Exorcism,
Rose?
that's not her real name.
It's Annalise Mitchell. Was it Annalise Mitchell? Wasn't it?
It's something begins with M.
Yeah, Annalise Mitchell
Yeah.
or Michelle or whatever you call it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like having fun with these because I like reading them for fun because I don't like obviously things happened that obviously weren't nice and they weren't explainable. Yeah, but they weren't exactly people
If they're
died.
written well as well.
Yeah.
Like, if they're written well, these can become very emotive
Yeah,
and yeah, like they're not even just they're not just stories. Like, ooh.
yeah, but they're not funny by any means.
No.
I just find it fun going through them and sort of reading to see what.
Ghosts tend to come, and spirits and demons tend to come from tragedy.
Yeah.
It's never. Oh, do you remember that time we went to the beach? Yep. Remember the ghost?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
never.
Remember the ghost there behind the tree?
No, not really. Oh, Sonny, you probably didn't see it. Yeah.
He didn't see the little silhouette, the little white silhouette in the sun, yeah.
It was definitely a ghost.
But then why are ghosts why were they portrayed with a sheet over them? I never understood that. Like
Probably
back in the day, like the ghost, but even Casper wasn't a ghost with a sheet over, it's just a white fella. A white floaty fella with a bald head.
condom.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. To be honest, I would guess it's to give them a shape and a form,
Yeah, but
so that you can see that they are like the shape of a human.
why not just have them as human?
Because I suppose back then they probably couldn't really make people translucent. It was easier to make them like invisible and then put like a sheet over them. Make it look like it's floating around, like ooh, like if a spirit's flying after you in like those old films where it's got like a sheet over it.
Yeah.
It's not like that is the ghost.
They're just
it's
a balloon.
Like yeah, just like a. Pardon me. It's just
Like I understand that,
giant
but I just
sheet.
don't understand why it was ever portrayed as a
Probably just limitations.
just guys are like
Got an idea.
got a sheet over a balloon.
If you put it over a table,
Yeah.
you can't really tell it's a table. So let's put it over. Well, you can, but let's put it over a person.
Is it a table or
And
is
you'll
it,
be
is it a
able to
chest of
see.
drawers?
It's true, and you'll be able to see that is the outline of a human,
Yeah.
and that's why it's scary because it's the outline of a human.
Yeah, still, I just still find it quite strange that it was a sheet that someone thought would be a good idea to put
Yeah.
over. Yeah, but do you want to go for
First one.
whatever one you fancy?
I'll read the one about the dead girlfriend
Oh dear,
that was messaging him.
poor Rachel.
So, basically, the gist of the story is that
Don't have a girlfriend.
a guy called Nathan, in 2014 this was, so a guy called Nathan had a girlfriend called Emily, and she was killed in a car crash in 2012. Unfortunately, as we said, always tragedy. So basically, after made the page, one of the Facebook in memoriam pages,
Yeah.
you can do that when someone dies. People can still comment and whatever. And there was only 2 people that had the admin privileges of the Facebook account for the memoriam page, which was himself and Emily's mother. But after 2 years, he started getting messages from Emily's account, and basically just a bit of a transcript then. So it's the 4th of September 2013 it started, so shortly after 2 years. 3:31 p.m. she just said hello, and he replied, "Who is this?" It's really in exactly the same minute. It's really weird receiving messages from Emily's account. No reply. 18 minutes later, he sent 2 question marks. Okay, well, in the future, please send me messages from your account, even if you do want to discuss our page. No reply. And a few minutes later, hello, she wrote again. Again, he then wrote Susan, so I'm assuming that's her mother. You're on Emily's account. Thinking it was a mistake. So, obviously that is the assumption that it was her. Found out it wasn't. So then he thought, oh, well, maybe one of her friends is hacked in, and basically then he realised as these messages went on, they weren't just random words.
Yeah.
They were from chats that they'd had previously, and they were just regurgitating messages that were no longer there. Basically, from conversations. So that's when he started to think, what's going on here? This is weird. That this could be a bug that's sending through old messages to this chat. But then all of a sudden things became even more chilling. In his photos, Emily started to tag herself in blank spaces behind him, where it's plausible there could be a ghost.
Big scary ghost.
So obviously this kept going on, and she would randomly be tagged in photos, and basically, as I say, he thought it was a bug, until all of a sudden she used her first original words. So what had been posted, again, just a quick transcript. So -12, -15. This is all her, by the way. My jumper's in the dryer and it's really cold out. Really cold out. Cold. Cold. Nathan, please stop. Cold. Freezing. I don't know what's happening. So essentially, he then basically revealed that these messages left him unable to sleep. Basically, he was having dreams, and he describes the dream as Emily was trapped in an ice cold car, frozen blue and grey, and I'm standing outside in the warmth, screaming at her to open the door. She doesn't even realise I'm there. Sometimes her legs are outside with me. So on the 24th of May 2014, another transcript. So he wrote, I'm really drunk. I miss you. Whoever's on this account. I don't give an F. I keep coming home from work and expecting to see you at the computer. Shouldn't I be used to that right now? She then wrote back an hour later, just let me walk. Now the just let me walk line basically left him chilled for more reasons than one, because a quote from himself, in the collision, the dashboard had crushed her. She was severed in a diagonal line from her right hip to midway down her left thigh, and one of her legs was found tucked under the back seat. And yet there's still one last thing that happened, that basically, despite him memorialising the page, it wasn't enough for her to rest in peace. She sent Nathan another message, and in this one she posted a photo which she had taken of him from behind a half-closed door. A photo which Nathan says was taken at a time when nobody else was there in the house with him. So he posted, that's my door, that's my computer, it's taken from outside, help. And then underneath the picture that she'd sent him was just the word freezing.
It's weird, like, innit? Still don't believe it though.
It's horrible if someone's went on and done that.
But sure, there was that. People have done that before on Facebook and stuff. Like, it's a terrible thing to do. People have done it before.
Yep.
They haven't done. They've hacked into people's accounts just to sort of play with the families and stuff.
It's just horrible. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine, God forbid, something was to happen to somebody you really care about, and you were trying to get over it, and they were.
Well, even 2 years. Like that's 2 years is still quite a raw time.
Yeah, especially for something like that.
Yeah. For a horrific accident to do that as well. I mean, if it was
just horrible.
If it was natural causes, then you'd be like, well, that's just life. But if it's an accident, it's been
worse. It's sudden.
Yeah, and then 2 years later, you're just revealed to this Facebook post that just decides to.
Yeah, or did it's evil. Like,
yeah, well, that's
really
people do it. Like, what was it we watched? I can't remember. I think it was the Unfriended, the Dark Web or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was awful. People, I know it wasn't the Dark Web. It was the first one. Unfriended, the first one. That was a girl that committed suicide or something, and she came back.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just really weird. Didn't like that film at all. I thought it was just like it was. If it was meant to, I don't know, what was it meant to do?
Don't know.
Like it wasn't meant to bring up anything. It wasn't like, well,
don't bully.
Maybe, yeah, but then what's they're not gonna come
Social
back
media is a powerful thing. Don't forget about that.
But then again, what would you think as well if you were the guys that made Facebook and you were the guys that were the cause of so many people's deaths?
Well, I suppose that's like saying, you ever invented the cigarette? You don't.
But it's true.
You don't make people smoke with like the gun. You don't make people shoot each other. You don't.
But you give them the.
You give them the option, but you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Again, drugs. We've probably talked about it on this a million times. You don't have to take drugs. You choose to take drugs. You don't have to drink. You don't have to smoke. You don't have to shoot people. But obviously, it's there, so you can.
Yeah.
So, if I was in charge of Facebook, would I feel bad about people that died? It was not my fault.
But cigarettes and all that stuff are meant to do something, whereas social media, you can just easily block that if someone has a word in it. No.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to do.
But they've done that. Even on Twitter, they've done that.
Yeah, but they haven't done it very well.
No, but I mean,
obviously it's going to take trial and error.
There's billions of people on Facebook.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if someone has a word or something in it that is not nice, then don't let them send it.
Well, they try, I suppose, but again, you're moderating like spelling that may not be perfect.
But if it's got swear words in it, you should just not send it.
But then,
there's no.
Where do you stop that? Because it's just swear words.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Well, then you can easily monitor things.
Like for example, like racism or extremism, yeah, take it out. But like, you can't take out everybody that says shit, or something.
Of course you can.
Like I know Xbox do, but
yeah,
apparently not say anything.
No.
But it's like you could probably get some things away, but bullying is just.
It's a way of life.
It's nigh on impossible to get away from on social media, apart from the easy options. Don't have the easy options, just don't have it.
I think people would be a lot happier if they didn't have social media.
Probably.
Yeah, I think the first one I would get rid of would be Facebook.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to have Twitter still. Twitter's good fun because that's where I get all my info.
Yeah, you just flick through.
Yeah.
Short blasts.
Mm-hmm. Whereas Facebook, you're like, oh, Jimmy's back in the wagon again then. That's good. Unfriend him for a while.
Yeah.
Block him for a wee bit.
Mute for a wee while.
Yeah. Do you get that? I think I prefer to release Facebook than anything else. But
yeah.
You know the Amityville Horror, the whole, what was it called? The Amityville. There was two of them, wasn't it? Ryan Reynolds, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was the most recent one.
It was awful.
And then there was one from the 70s.
Yeah. The Amityville Horror. What was it called? The Horror
Amityville
House?
Horror.
Wasn't it called the Horror House or anything? No.
No, it's Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
It's just set in Amityville. Like, yeah, it's actually on like Orange Drive, is it?
I think so. Ocean Avenue.
That's what it is. Orange Drive is where I stayed in LA.
Well, it's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, a wee bit.
On 13th November 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. DeFeo.
Yeah.
It's a weird name. It's like an Italian name. Shot and killed 6 members of his family at 112, which you said is 108 now, isn't it?
Yeah, they legally got it changed because everybody was coming to the house and finding it on Google Maps, so they changed it to 108.
Why would you want to visit there? Like,
it's sort of one of those folklore sort of houses now. It's like a big deal.
ghost hunters and stuff.
Yeah.
He was arrested, found guilty, and jailed, and his house was put on the market.
Did you see what he killed him with?
Did I see what he killed him with? No, was it not a shotgun he killed him with as well? No.
It was like one of those old Western rifles. It's like
That's a Winchester rifle, wasn't it?
it's like and it's like impossible to silence. So it baffles me how he killed all 6 of them without somebody waking up. But anyway,
There must be something.
there's thoughts that there's theories that he killed the parents. One of the sisters helped him kill the other one, and then he just killed the other person that helped him.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a theory. Pretty good one, I think.
Yeah, it would make the most sense, really, wouldn't it? Which meant that in December 1975, George and Kathy Lutz and their 3 children moved into the Amityville home.
How much they got it for?
How much they paid for it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
80 grand. In
1975?
Yeah. 80 G's.
But it's a big house.
They wanted...
Had a barn as well, didn't it? Had a barn beside it too.
I think it's just part of the house. It's a really big house. It's a Dutch colonial.
Yeah.
But it's like 100. I think they wanted 100. They got it for 80. Their budget was like 60 though.
Were they told or anything about it? No?
Oh yeah, like they knew. Yeah, they were like, oh, by the way.
Why would you ever move into a house that's been...
It's apparently it came with a dock. He had a boat.
Yeah.
It came with a free dock. It came with a whole load of other things. There was other things with it that basically made it like their budget was actually 60,000, but it made it almost like a steal for 80 because
on top,
you know you got all this other stuff.
Yeah. For the next 28 days, the family were terrorized by unseen forces. Kathy had vivid nightmares about the murders and discovered the order in which they occurred, and the rooms which that's awful, where they took place. The Lutz children also began sleeping on their stomachs, in the same way that the dead bodies in the DeFeo murders had been found.
Mm-hmm. Face down in the bed, all alone. But again, the weird thing, just that there's a 28-day thing there. Neighbours said they left after 10, not 28. But when they did leave, and this is 100% true, they didn't take anything with them. They just left. So they didn't lift any furniture whatsoever. They just left everything.
Yeah.
And there's also a theory, and that's why I mentioned the price of the house, that they realised very quickly they weren't going to be able to afford this, which is another reason why they wanted out.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That makes a lot of sense then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things grew steadily worse, with mysterious injuries being afflicted upon the females of the household. It's always females as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Strange footprints appearing on the ground, and the discovery of a secret room which did not appear in the blueprints of the house. Huh. That's weird. It reminds me of the new show.
What new show? I haven't seen.
Oh, you haven't seen it
yet? No, the Haunted Hill House. I can't wait to watch it because I've heard so many good things. But then I was getting my hair cut, and I mentioned it to my hairdresser.
And then the hairdresser cut my head off to know what.
She said it was crap.
No, don't listen to
her. So now anything she says, I just don't know if I can ever trust her again.
No, probably not. Well, you have to watch it first before you can even judge. But
fair point.
She might be right in your opinion.
But there's so many people who told me it's so good.
It is.
She's the first person I think I've heard saying she didn't like it.
Don't understand why. It's a really good story. I mean, it did get a bit crappy at the end because it just got really soppy. Yeah. It wasn't scary at all. But, I mean, you can take it for what it is, really.
Nice.
The room was The womb was wet. The womb was, yeah, you're right. It was completely red. The room was dubbed the Red Room, and the family's dog was terrified of it.
Aptly named.
Huh?
Aptly named.
Blood. After deciding, I spelled deciding wrong. Good for them. After deciding that something was wrong with their house, George and Kathy Lutz carried out a blessing on the 8th of January 1976. So were they Christian then?
They called in a priest, to bless the house, which a lot of Catholics did around that time. Yeah. Like the Catholic religion, and this is like it's near New York. I think it's Boston area. That basically they would have done this anyway, but specifically because of this, they're like, right, we need to get this sorted like now. Yeah. So they called in the priest.
According to reports, George held a silver crucifix while they both recited the Lord's Prayer. And while in the living room, George allegedly heard a chorus of voices asking them, "Will you stop?" So they both. So it only says that it was only them two that were doing it.
No, they brought in a priest. I can't remember his name now. It's not on this brief summary. But they did call in a priest. And the priest, to this day, or until the day of his death, either one, whatever is accurate, is adamant that whenever he went into a room, he got very cold and heard a voice saying, get out, and he was basically like, yeah, I can't help you. So he left. And then shortly before, they attempted another blessing, as you'll read in a wee second, but it says they fled the next day. Now the reason they said they fled the next day is because there was a massive like pulse of power basically from within the house, and it allegedly blew the door, which is a big heavy thick wooden door, off its hinges out into the garden, and also blew up all the windows and stuff, left sort of glass everywhere, and they just upped and left all their stuff, as I mentioned.
Or what happened is they took all the windows, smashed them all, unhinged the door, put it in the garden, and went, "This is scary."
Legitimately, like, there was whoever bought the house off them, basically took a picture of like the door hinges and stuff and was like, "Yeah, this didn't happen. You know, this would be a lot worse."
Yeah.
Essentially, they say a lot of it they think was sensationalized. They did get lawyers involved, and there was book deals and so on and so forth. And yeah, they obviously eventually, the house was basically sold on to the next owners. And
is anyone living in it right now?
Yep.
Really?
It's all different now. It doesn't look like that anymore. Anyone that hasn't seen it, it's like a big. How do you even describe that? If you just look up Dutch Colonial House or the Amityville Horror House, you'll know exactly what we mean. It looks like it has like eyes, doesn't it? Unlike,
really angry eyes.
Yeah. And it is actually a really, really nice house.
Yeah.
Like, if you could get it. But I think it was sold for a lot more, like, recently.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
like 600,000 or something like that. So, or 800,000, and they were looking for $1 million. It was either 600 they were looking for 8, or 800 and they were looking for $1 million. I can't remember which, but yeah, there's films and stuff. If anyone hasn't seen those, they may be worth a wee look. But yeah, there's a whole load of reasons why they think this has been like, it's all basically a big sort of rubbish. But the priest still would say,
all they're doing money.
You know, that this happened, I felt this, and so on and so forth.
If he was getting paid for that interview that he told that stuff in, then he'd say anything, I think.
Probably.
Just to get a bit of dough. Yeah.
But that one's very good.
Films are crap, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, I suppose from one film to another. So, everyone's probably heard of the Exorcism of Emily Rose, and the fact that it was based on a true story. The actual exorcism, as you mentioned earlier, was of Annalise Mitchell. I would say that, Michel.
Is it Mitchell or Michelle?
Yeah, exactly. I'll say Mitchell just because I've started that way.
Yeah.
So basically, as there was never Emily Rose, there was only ever her. So according to reports, basically the young girl was afflicted, intense shaking and loss of control over her body. And basically doctors didn't really know what was wrong with her. They basically diagnosed her with grand mal seizures, which actually is epilepsy. Pretty much a grand mal is the one that you'll like fall over and like you'll see in a film.
Yep.
Essentially, those sort of seizures are one type of epilepsy, I suppose. But basically, her behaviour got worse. She began like attacking family. She started drinking her own pee, which is a bit grim.
I think there's a theory behind this one that I'll tell you afterwards.
Nice. Most tellingly of all, she seemed very afraid of religious objects. So basically, her family eventually convinced the priests, and they went on to perform multiple exorcisms. Annalise died in 1976 with pneumonia before her last exorcism could be performed. There had been 40 exorcisms they tried to do on her by that point.
Yeah, I just think, my theory is that she was just treated badly. She was malnourished, and the only way she could really drink anything was to drink her own pee.
That's so grim, isn't it?
Wasn't fed properly. Obviously, they didn't know about epilepsy.
Yeah.
So she was obviously having these fits, and like there's something wrong with this woman. So what we'll do is we'll take the biscuit out of her and just treat her as badly as possible until she dies.
It's just, it doesn't say where she's from though. That's the only thing. So like, you know, Annalise Mitchell or Michelle.
I think she was
sounds sort of French.
She was foreign. I'm pretty sure she wasn't
British
American as what the
yeah.
I think it was. I'm trying to think. Was it Finnish? Maybe no, it wasn't Finnish.
Don't know. The name is definitely
German.
German, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, you think they'd be pretty on the ball in the 70s, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 76. She died at age 23.
Oh, it's so grim.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Cause of death: malnutrition, starvation, and emaciation.
Emanciation, yeah.
No, it's not amount.
Huh?
Emaciation, just
What's that?
thinness.
Is that not emanciated? Emanciation. I thought you called that like an emancipated dog. There you go, I'm learning something.
Emaciation. So yeah, there you go, malnutrition. So, known for supposed demonic possession, death after exorcism.
I'd 100% say they just were not feeding her because they assumed that she was exorcised.
When Mitchell was 16, she experienced a seizure and was diagnosed with psychosis caused by temporal lobe epilepsy.
Oh, there you go. Called it.
So there you go then. That's awful. Annalise Mitchell stopped eating food and died due to malnourishment and dehydration. Mitchell's parents and the 2 Roman Catholic priests were found guilty of negligent homicide.
No way.
There you go.
Holy crap.
And were sentenced to 6 months in jail. 6 months.
Well, they got away with that one.
Reduced to 3 years of probation as well as a fine. A fine? For killing a girl? Well, there you go. Jesus. Maybe I've read that somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, that's horrible.
Well, that's just...
So they were done for murder and got 6 months. Well, not murder, but
negligent homicide. It was a homicide.
That's
yeah.
horrible. That
got
poor
6
girl.
months. Yeah, 6 months for that. So
because she had epilepsy, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well,
that's horrible. That really is just.
It's just what happens. I mean, in Germany.
Imagine how bad the exorcisms would have been.
I don't understand how they could have. Like, I don't know what an exorcism really consists of. I don't know what you're meant to do. You know, you throw water on them.
Screaming and shouting and...
Yeah, but she obviously...
Bible verses.
But obviously if she wasn't, possessed, then she wouldn't be screaming.
But if she was mentally ill, she could well have been...
She wasn't mentally ill. It wasn't the epilepsy she had.
I thought it was psychosis.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But if she was mentally ill, that sort of thing could really set her off,
Yeah, that's true. 40 as well. That's crazy. And there could be one every day,
Yeah, you don't know how long they did this over.
I just think it's crazy. Like, I mean, the thing is, though, people still do stuff like that.
They do still do exorcisms. That's actually what I was about to say. I watched a thing not that long ago on exorcisms. The fact they don't happen often, but they do happen.
Is it still done by Catholic priests?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why it's Catholic.
Probably, it's more their thing, really. Of that specific brand of the Christian religion, it is more that thing. Yeah. Like, I couldn't imagine you ever seeing like a Protestant one. I don't think it really. Not that I suppose at the end of the day, like, it is, but all just sort of Christian anyway. It doesn't really matter.
It is very religious.
Yeah,
it's all very religious. Like, I don't understand why you have to bring it out. Well, I understand, but whenever people say about bringing in a priest or someone of religious belief, faith to come in and be the person to bless the house, like,
I don't see what difference it makes.
No,
I mean, obviously again, maybe if I was that way inclined, then I would get it.
But even still, I don't think a blessing on its own could really take anything away.
No, but it does add like a nice sort of touch in like a horror film where they get the priest in,
having a placebo effect where you think, oh, he's come in now.
House is alright.
Yeah, and then you die the next day.
Yeah, blender turns on whenever you're looking inside it for some reason.
Yeah, with your entire head's in the blender. Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Brain mush. Another exorcism one here. I'm just going to skip that one from the unexplained ghost stories.
Yeah, it's not that great.
It's grim. It's kind of boring, to be honest. Like, but The Exorcism of Roland Doe.
Okay.
Sounds like the best name.
I didn't read that.
The best name ever.
Yeah.
We did today. I'm just Roland Doe.
John Doe's brother.
Yeah, John Doe.
Yeah.
Who's John Doe?
John Doe.
Yeah.
That's what they call an unidentified dead man.
Oh.
And an unidentified dead lady's Jane Doe.
Yeah. Oh, you're right enough. Yeah, that's right. Roland Doe. Just rolling the dough. In the late 1940s, priests of the Roman Catholic... There we go again. The Roman Catholic Church performed a series of exorcisms on a young German boy. Another German.
What are they doing over there, boys? Do something else, would you?
Late 1940s. That was, what, 1976?
Yeah, so you're talking 30, 40 years.
She was born in 1952. So late 1940s, like, that's still... She was even born.
No, they're still cracking away at it.
That's crazy. Roland Doe's referred to in a bid to protect his identity, so it's not actually his real name.
Ah, there
you
it is.
go.
Like John told you, John's his dad or his brother.
Or his sister.
John.
You never know these days, like, you never know.
That's true.
Allegedly broke his restraints, pulled the spring out of his mattress, and used it to attack one of the priests during an exorcism.
Oh my word, what a badass.
Which took place at Georgetown University Hospital. Georgetown doesn't sound like a very German place.
I think it's like America.
Yeah. According to reports, strange words appeared all over the boy's body. Oh, that's
strange what?
Strange words.
Words? Like...
I'm assuming it was probably
like Latin or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it scarier.
His bed was alleged to shake during the encounter, and he spoke in a frightening guttural voice.
Oh, can you imagine?
What was the thing? I think it was the Emily Rose one, maybe. I think that was portrayed in the film that she spoke with like...
they talk like this.
Yeah, it sounds like they're a death metal band. After breaking the priest's nose, Roland succumbed.
Kids on a rampage?
Okay. I don't understand that. So after breaking the priest's nose, Roland succumbed to the exorcism and went to lead a rather ordinary life.
So in other words, it worked. I mean, maybe he just needed to punch someone and attack them with a bed spring.
But this is the only thing, right? There's no name now. So how do you know?
How do we know what?
How do you know what happened? How do you know he went on and lived an ordinary life? We don't even know his name.
Yeah, you'd probably find out he...
You only find out the names because they die.
When did this happen?
In the late 1940s. So obviously he was a kid then, he was a boy then. So, I mean, he might still be kicking about like.
Could. I mean, it's doubtful.
Yeah.
If he had demons and all.
Yeah.
Probably dead.
But he was fine apparently. So it succumbed to the exorcism and he was just went on to lead an ordinary life. Which I don't understand how that's possible. I'm sure the priest would be like, "Oh, you prick, breaking my nose." You know.
Punches him clean out.
Yeah.
There you go, I'll get you out, you demon.
It's always the way though. You always find out that the people who live after them don't actually have a name because it's protected.
Yeah.
Whereas the people who die, they have no rights anymore, do they? They're dead, so they don't have any right to protect their own name unless obviously there's some family members who are like, nope, you're not allowed.
It's funny how all these stories as well are happening sort of like 70s or before.
You don't hear it in 2018, do you?
No, not really.
You hear it in like 2076 and 2018.
Yeah.
And Clarky went mental and attacked his partner on the podcast.
With a spring from something. There's not really any springs around here.
Springs in here.
Well, it's a good thing I don't sit on that.
No, you do not. No, I sit on it. I'll attack you with a spring next time.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think it's kind of crazy. Like, but I mean, it's just really strange that's happening in Germany as well, and also
Please.
Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Must just be something that they did then.
Well,
it's like a pastime.
I know that exorcisms aren't very common anymore, but I would say back there probably was a stage where, this may be the wrong word, but they were like a bit of a fad. And they were just like, I exorcise that guy and see what happens that sort of way, you know. Whereas now it's definitely not as much of a...
Now it's exercise.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's jog, tube. I'll get it out of you.
Maybe that's what they meant back in the day.
Well, he started. Let him finish. Nobody else isn't going to catch on.
It's terrible.
Yeah. No, next one then I've picked is The Real Life Haunting in Connecticut. So obviously there's the film, but again it's based on real events, allegedly. So in the 80s, so this is I suppose actually one that's slightly after the 70s, the family of Carmen Snedeker reported some very strange incidents in their Connecticut home. So essentially it transpired that their house had been formerly used as a funeral parlour, and that the spirits were not pleased that the living had moved in. So the paranormal investigators,
Of course they weren't.
Ed and Lorraine Warren, as we all know from
Conjuring.
Yeah, were called in to examine the home, which they professed was infested with demons.
Of course.
Because if it wasn't,
they wouldn't have
why
any.
would they be there, obviously? Yeah. So speaking about the horror film that came later, Lorraine said the actual case was much, much scarier than any movie could ever be. So it doesn't go into any detail whatsoever as to what actually happened.
Let's watch that film again, you know. I think I might watch it with Lauren like Wednesday.
Good idea.
Yeah.
That'd be a great one actually for Halloween. Be really good.
Didn't even think about that. There you go. Oh.
Did you actually know?
No.
Really? Did I show you the pumpkin I did? I'll post it in the chat.
Yeah.
It's good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I want to smash it.
That's good. I always do good pumpkins.
Again, didn't do one this year.
I love doing pumpkins. Rachel did a wee white one.
A white pumpkin?
Yeah.
Would she paint it?
No.
Where'd you get a white one from?
Tesco.
There's white pumpkin?
2 for £3 on orange and white ones, yeah.
Oh.
I got an orange one. But then I was like, why did I do a Jack Skeleton on an orange pumpkin, you tube?
Yeah, you should have done the white one.
Should have done a white one. It would have looked amazing. The outline,
the black,
the eyes and the mouth and stuff in black. How good would that look? I'm a chump and did it in orange.
It's your own fault.
Still have time, like, but I'm not gonna do it now.
No, it's pointless. You already done one.
Anyway, that's a complete random segue.
Yeah.
But
and then we'll just end it there, folks. Thank you.
No, but that one there, those boys like Lorraine and the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine. I just think they're never gonna go into a house and be like,
no, it's fine.
No, there's nothing here. I don't think we have any work to do whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because they also
but they're geniuses though.
Yeah, because they also had something to do with the Amityville house as well. They went and had a wee look and were like, yep, 100%. Like.
So how else do they make money?
Exactly.
I would just profess myself as a, what do you call them? A ghost hunter, or whatever you call them, or whatever they are. I'm going to like just go next door here. Did you know your garage is haunted? How did you know that? Do you want to see? Turn the lights on every so.
No, Lorraine, no.
But it's true though. I think that's what they did. Yeah. You're the ghost fart there? There's a phantom farter in here. But no, I think that's what they've done. Very, very smart to do that.
Yeah. But also a bit scummy.
Oh yeah, definitely scummy like, but I mean,
say so.
If they want to get money back in the 70s or whatever time, then obviously that's what you want to do, isn't it? That's when they were around, wasn't it? 70s they started living? 60s and 70s?
Who? They started work?
The Warrens.
Yeah. They've pretty much been banging on at everyone they could find since.
Yeah. Are they still alive?
As far as I'm aware. But that'd be like 50 years ago, so they must be like hella old.
Yeah.
Good point actually. I'm not sure. Be one to look up, I reckon.
Is your story finished?
Yeah, no, there's very little on that one.
What one was that? Oh,
that was the Haunting in Connecticut. I would have expected a bit more detail whenever
I've got a really cool one here.
Okay.
This is just the titles class. The Tale of Resurrection Mary.
Nice.
Ooh! Scary. She was a hitchhiker. So hitchhiking is a very dangerous mode of transportation, both for the driver and the hitchhiker. Well, I mean, hitchhikers think it's more dangerous, isn't it, really? Because the driver could be bloody well anybody. So could the hitchhiker, but
I don't know which is.
The majority of the time, I think the hitchhiker ends up
But who
dead.
pulls over for one?
Over here, you don't do it like
ever.
No,
ever. Yeah.
Even if it was me, he still wouldn't pull over. Like, I know where he knows where he lives. Just leave him alone. But we suppose you have nothing to lose if you're already dead, it says here. Okay, so on a stretch of road near Resurrection Cemetery in Justice, Illinois. That's class. Like, Resurrection Cemetery. Why would you call it that?
Don't know, but I don't like that.
No. And it's in Justice as well.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't make any sense. An attractive blonde-haired, blue-eyed young woman, all dressed in white, is often spotted with her thumb in the air trying to wave down a car for a ride. As she's so very beautiful, plenty of men do pull over and let her hop in.
Of course they do.
Yeah. Each time she has to be taken to the cemetery.
Oh.
And each time, when they arrive at her final destination, she vanishes into thin air.
That's grim.
I think that's class.
Can you imagine?
I'd love to drive down, pick her up and be like, hey, do you want to go to the cemetery? No. What? Where do you want to go? McDonald's?
Tesco,
What?
mate.
What? No?
No, we're going to the cemetery.
Just look at her, wait until she goes, you're supposed to disappear? You're a lie. I think that's crazy though. If that ever was to happen, like, I think. But I mean, there's bound to be people that've been like, oh yeah, I picked her up.
Yeah, I was about to say, how many people would have done that? Because there's no way it's like one guy.
It could be.
Well,
Remember Resurrection Mary? Oh, I remember her well.
but I mean, you can't base a story off one person being like, yeah, I did that. That was me.
Could you imagine just one fella? That was definitely the only time.
That
Yeah.
literally happened, I swear.
But it does say plenty of men.
Well, yeah. I suppose then maybe some have came forward and told the same story.
Why haven't women picked her up?
Intimidated because she's attractive.
So?
I don't know. It's
Hitchhiker.
just a guess.
I think it's crazy. Like, if that ever happened, that'd be so funny.
Yeah.
I wonder why she was there though.
Did it say she died?
No, it didn't say that she was already dead. It says you've nothing to lose if you're already dead. So it just says it didn't have any sort of background. It just says she was just a blonde haired, blue eyed young woman, dressed in white.
Maybe she'd been scrubbed on a hitchhike. And then she needed
She's been scrubbed.
And then she needed a lift.
In a white dress though.
Aye, but you only get that when you're dead. Sure.
It's not a thing you get.
Might be.
It isn't a thing you just get. There you go, Billy. Here's a wee white dress for you. Oh, thanks,
A
mate.
white dress or white suit? It's up to you.
I think I'd pick a white dress, but it's nice and airy compared to a white suit. Really
True.
hot.
Very
Really
true.
hot.
It's made of cotton though, so I hear. I've got a grim one. You ever heard of the film The Entity?
Yes.
Yeah, it's truly based on a true story of Doris Bither. So basically, it's a 1982 film. In the film, basically, a young mother is raped and tortured by unseen otherworldly beings.
Oh.
So it was 1974. A woman called Doris Bither,
Another
whatever,
70s one.
claimed that she was assaulted by invisible entities. Despite the fact that many people slammed the young woman as a liar, two paranormal investigators, Barry Taff and Kerry Gaynor, decided to investigate. What they found was disturbing. From floating balls of light,
The orbs,
floating about, to whispered voices, there's no way that they would ever again set foot in that house. Doris's son Brian told GhostTheory.com in 2009 that everything was completely true.
doubtful.
He said, "What do you want to know? It was all true. Living in that home was hell. We all experienced some form of attack. There was pushing, biting, scratching being done to us. There were about 4 entities in the home, and they made themselves known by appearing all the time. I think it took a lot of energy for them to do that. When they would make themselves known, it was always like a fog, like a human but not quite, like a silhouette, just not clear, translucent and foggy. The whole rape thing was real. My room was right next door to my mother's, and I would hear the attacks happening, things being thrown, her screaming. Then she would come out of the bedroom and have all these bruises on her legs, her inner thighs. Then there were times where we would see it happen in front of us. It was like if a man was standing in front of my mother and would start to beat her. Imagine a woman being beaten. You could see her being picked up and thrown around. Sounds, slaps, but there was no one there to actually do it."
But then, like, it's the same thing with that priest earlier on. He'd be paid to do that.
Yeah,
You know what I
does
mean?
it pay for him to tell that story?
Yeah.
If not, that story's creepy. Because why the hell would he lie about his mother being raped by a ghost? That's just disgusting.
It's America, is it not? Like,
Yeah, but even so, like, that's just wrong.
I know it is, but I mean, if they're gonna get loads and loads of money for it, like, I mean, to be fair, you never know what people have in their minds. He could be a serial killer for all we know.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he could be
He
anybody.
could be a proper weirdo. But
Yeah.
do you ever think it'd be worth admitting on live TV, "Oh, my mom was raped by a ghost"? Sorry, what?
If he gets money for it, probably. If he gets like at least 5 to 10 grand, you're sweet. Like,
Yeah, apparently all these sort of films and book deals, etc., once you take out like sort of courts and stuff, you're talking most of these people make a couple $100,000 each.
yeah,
So it's not life changing, but it's good money.
it's good money for them. Like, yeah, 100%. But if you don't say it or don't do things in the right way, they'll get very angry about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it was me, and anything that like I had sort of been a part of, and I wouldn't know. Why would you want to sell it as a film?
Well,
Why would you want things to people to know that you've been
raped by a ghost?
Yeah.
That's a really horrible one as well. Like haunting, and then there's that.
But then that not like that'd be like a poltergeist, though, would it not?
No, they're like they muck about you. They like move things and bang things. They're the ones that like muck around your house and try and scare you for.
But then they've always said as well that things don't attach themselves, like entities don't attach themselves to houses, they attach themselves to people.
Yeah.
So
maybe she just needed a blessing from a priest.
Another one.
Yeah, like they that seems to be the way to counteract all of this, is to bring either that or they bring a priest in. It just makes it worse. That's always a scary line in the film. I can't be here. I'm just gonna make it worse. And then he's like, I'm so sorry. And the priest has to leave, and they're sitting there like, oh God.
Who else do you bring in?
Like, what do we do? That's the priest.
Bring in the devil. That's who you bring in.
Yeah.
Mate, just take your people home, will you?
Would you get him out?
I've got a really good one.
The
Mothman.
Okay.
Mothman. The Mothman prophecies were based on the sightings of an enormous moth-like creature said to be seen in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, between 1966 and 1967. While many townsfolk have reported that they saw the creature hovering over the town's iconic Silver Bridge, these apparitions continue becoming more and more frequent until the bridge unexpectedly collapsed during rush hour traffic.
Oh God.
46 people were killed. The Mothman was never seen again after the accident.
Maybe he was on one of the cars.
What? What would you say?
Maybe he was on one of the cars.
The Mothman?
Yeah.
It's not real.
Not anymore.
It says, but the creature caused that terrible tragedy, or was it simply an omen of things to come?
That is horrible. Like, why would loads of people admit that? Why would... What else could... I mean, see those sort of things, I always wonder, like, my brain goes straight away to, what could it have been? What is it likely to have been?
I mean, it's weird because it's a bridge.
Yeah.
So it could just fall down.
But what were they seeing above it? Not whenever
sky.
It fell, but like
Probably
what were they seeing whenever? Like, why are people saying, "Oh, there's a big giant thing"? Like, what could it have been? Like a vulture?
But what's a Mothman look like?
I don't know.
Exactly. Like
These
people are like, it's a Mothman.
And why a man? Why couldn't it just been a giant moth?
It's in 1966 and 1967, so within that year.
Well, in fairness, England won the World Cup, so anything's possible.
Oh, for crying out loud!
That was a big year for impossibilities.
I just don't understand what
Mothman.
I just don't understand why we'd be like, yeah, that's definitely the thing that caused the bridge.
Surely you'd be going for like a lamp.
Yeah, probably instead of a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe like electrocute a lot of people.
But maybe he loved the bridge because of all the lights from the cars.
It's true, but I still think there's a logical reason for that bridge falling.
Just poor craftsmanship.
More than likely, like
rush hour traffic could have been too heavy.
It says 46 people were killed.
That's grim. That means the bridge is probably drowning people and all.
Yeah,
that's really horrible.
I still don't believe it. Like, I mean, that like these things, there are some here that are just, you know.
To me, that sounds the least believable. I like the ones like where they're like you're sort of like, oh,
yeah,
you know, whenever
that one. Like, that's why I read that one. I was just like, there's no way. In hell, there could be a Mothman that's just. I mean, no.
No. There hasn't been a film on that, has there? No.
I don't think so.
Be a good film.
No, it wouldn't. It'd be like 20 minutes, and then people be like, look at that. It looks like a Mothman, doesn't it? Yeah. The bridge falls, people die, and they're like,
but like, if there was other appearance, it was that Mothman. Him, second one.
Like, it's awful. People die.
Never should have let him in.
But I think it's ridiculous if people even would attempt to be like, it was a Mothman killed it, and not poor construction of the bridge.
Yeah, don't sue moths.
The council went, oh, the bridge was fine. It was that Mothman.
It was definitely Mothman.
It was definitely the Mothman. It's like a villain in the DC universe is what that is.
Literally.
It's how pathetic that is. Like, it was the Mothman killed the bridge.
I've got another Warren one.
Oh no.
So this is called the Enfield Poltergeist. So
yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, again, it's the Conjuring 2 is based off it. But in the 70s, again, 1977 in August.
Oh, close to the 80s.
Yeah, we're getting there. So we're all around the same area. Single mum Peggy Hodgson.
Reveal yourself. Mum, reveal yourself.
Hi, I'm Peggy Hodgson, and I have a ghost in my house.
Pew 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 pew. That's awful.
Yeah.
No, it could be. Hello, I'm Peggy Hodgson. I live in Enfield.
I'm a single mum. No.
I'm a mum.
But yeah, so she called the police to her council home, and when they arrived, she explained that 2 of her 4 children had told her that their furniture was moving all by itself, and as I'm sure you can imagine, that must have been one of the worst call-outs for a policeman ever. There's a ghost. Right, I think you called the wrong people. Who am I supposed to call?
The Ghostbusters.
We never heard. But I don't know if Bill Murray's going to show up. But
no, he's dead now.
No, he's not.
Sure, he died in Zombieland.
Oh, see for half a second. I thought I'd missed something today.
Spoilers.
So basically, they'd seen the furniture moving all by itself. Even more terrifying, they heard knocking sounds coming from inside the walls. So the skeptical police officer looked around the house and he admitted that he saw a chair slide on the floor. So he's seen it.
Oh.
Now, the dramatic events continued to happen with demonic voices, loud noises, thrown toys, overturned chairs, and levitating children, reported by many paranormal investigators. So, of course, the Warrens were like, we need in on that. So...
Is Enfield not in England?
Yes.
So they went to England?
Yes.
In the 70s?
Yes. Just
they're that dedicated.
Yep. So our lad went over and said he'd observed one of the children, Janet was her name. She lay sound asleep, levitating in midair. So obviously he's seen that. So he concluded that the children were the subject of demonic possession.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what he that was his professional opinion, because if he went there and said, no, actually I didn't see anything at all, it wouldn't have made him any money.
No, definitely not. But I mean, The Conjuring 2.
Yeah. It's based on that. It's not in England. It'll be based on the story.
But I can't even remember anything like that sort of happening in it, to be honest with you.
Probably just based on the Poltergeist, more so.
That's kind of crazy though, that they have like all these stories. Like they could just sell so many stories, but like, yeah, there you go, there's another.
They were involved in the Annabelle one as well, aren't they?
Yeah. So they've got those. They've got all that stuff in their little.
Annabelle, another film coming out too, isn't there?
I don't think so.
No,
there was one that came out. There's 2, I think.
Well, maybe I'm.
There's Annabelle and then Annabelle the Creation or something.
Sorry, that's the one I'm thinking of. Maybe it's already here then.
Yeah,
probably like 2 years ago. No,
it's
maybe
crap as well.
Yeah,
they're all really bad. The only one I really liked was The Conjuring.
good film.
It was the only one I really liked. Conjuring 2 I thought was kind of
spooky.
Yeah, I've got one more here just for the crack. Disneyland Ghost. Did you read it?
Go ahead.
Did you read it?
No, but I can imagine it's probably something to do with a wee man walking about.
Yeah, it's
scaring people.
Pilot Willies. It's the happiest place on earth. Would you agree?
I love Disneyland.
Yeah, it's class. Apparently. So it makes sense that ghosts would want to stick around and beat the queues at Disneyland.
Yep.
When they reach the afterlife. That's what I would do, to be fair. This creepy footage shows a spooky figure wandering through the park late at night, looking oddly translucent on the CCTV cameras.
Can you imagine being a security guard though, right? Every night you're sort of sitting there just like...
What if it's Walt Disney?
Oh my word. Can you imagine? Or Mickey. The OG, because obviously the one now aren't
What if it is Walt Disney just looking after his park?
Yeah, but can you imagine being the person that was like, what is that?
Yeah.
Is that somebody what the...
Yeah.
This place is... And because I'm assuming there are people that like hide in the park and try and stay there overnight, you know, or do something stupid. But like, can you imagine being a security guard, being like, right, somebody go check that out, and then seeing somebody like walk up to what should be there and it's not, and then you're being like, but I can see it, and they can't.
I must check out the YouTube footage then.
That'd be a wee bit scary.
We'll check out the YouTube footage after we finish this to see what we think. But yeah, I think that's really weird. I mean, obviously people have died in
yeah, I can imagine probably in like rides or something, or maybe the odd heart attack, things like that.
Do you reckon? Because I don't understand. Obviously, I think there's different things of the afterlife and stuff. But whenever people say if you die on a certain thing, you're connected to that thing.
That's
you
actually
can't ever leave it.
That's like that basis of that book. Do you remember I told you about the 5 people you meet in heaven? He's killed in a accident at a fun fair, and who he waits for after he's met his people. I've told you the premise obviously before. Who he waits for is the girl he saved, but he waits on a fun fair ride.
Yeah.
And now that does have a sequel. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah, they brought out a sequel.
Oh, there you go.
Where I think it's like her after she's now moving on that she'll bump into him again.
That's nice.
It'll be cool. I can't wait to read it. I'm gonna get hopefully get it for Christmas.
Rachel got it?
Probably.
That's good.
Unless I get it for her first.
Can you read that really, really quickly?
That's what we do that. Like we'll share books and stuff. But
it's weird.
But yeah, that could be a connection thing.
Be kind of sad. Like that literally means that Disneyland could be a graveyard.
Yeah.
Which is not a happy place to go.
No, but can you imagine how much fun the ghosts would have?
Depends if they're really nice ghosts or not, though.
True. I imagine Walt Disney would be a nice ghost. Probably.
You never know.
No, but I imagine he would be.
It'd be hell, because you'd be sitting there going, look at all the money I'm making, and I can't spend it.
Suppose it doesn't matter, he's dead.
Exactly.
So he won't worry about that. He'll just walk about the park making sure everyone's alright. How weird would it be though, although it'd be very unbelievable, if there was a ghost walking hand in hand with a Mickey Mouse ghost, you know, like a small mouse. Like
an actual mouse?
No, like a Mickey Mouse, like a child-sized Mickey Mouse. You know, like the statue of him holding Mickey's hand. That one.
If you just seen it walking around.
Yeah. Just with the ghost. But
that'd be a really good like Zombieland thing to do, wouldn't it?
I can't wait for that.
Or Ghostland. You'd call it Ghostland though, wouldn't you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool actually. That was kind of funky. It's a good idea. We should make a film with that.
Nobody else steal this.
You got any more stories, or we all?
Those are my favourites that I read.
Yeah, we all ghosted out.
For now, yeah.
You creeped out by any of the stories?
Suitably creeped. I like the more descriptive ones. So like, the Facebook one's creepy. I don't like that.
It's not real.
But it's obviously just somebody doing that, which is grim. Yeah. That's why I don't like it. I don't know. As I said to you before, I think it's more the
initial reading it just.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, it could be this, could be that, could be the other.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're all a pile of crap. But I like Halloween, so we thought we'd give that one a go, and now we're all gonna go and try and sleep.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed it, anyway, folks, and we shall catch you in the next one. Bye.